suffering through the English dub ghost stories for 20 episodes.
You tried to bow out a couple times.
This is a point five game.
They just genuinely did not care and was like, nah, we finna get these jokes off. Like
That it's
six
it,
pack on me.
That's literally it.
the animation is dated. It's not great. I just said it's all over the place. The humor is technically dated.
If I would have watched this back then, I wouldn't have made it through the first 3 episodes.
I would have definitely dropped it too.
I'm definitely saying, literally.
I do like this anime too, though, because as crazy as it sounds, I see a lot of influence in other anime, right? When you're comparing it to like some really great anime, you're like, what is this? As an anime, it should probably be a 0. But as a watching experience, like, yo, you probably need to experience this once in your life.
Like, you can't believe it until you see it.
Like, we're not gonna do it. We're not gonna do it justice.
What's up, everybody? You are now tuned into Together We Anime. I am Nicole Lerner, and with me I have Nisho Soul and Stick Braston. And together, we watch anime every month. We watch it, we review it, and we rate it. And then we come here and talk about it. I think I just repeated some things, but that's okay. It's whatever. We here. So this month we watched the English dub of Ghost Stories. And if you kind of want to know what it's about, it's a sketchy comedy about some sketchy kids. They go to a sketchy school that has an even sketchier haunted school in the backyard, and then some sketchy ghosts keep trying to kidnap them and bring them down to a sketchy place below the earth. So during this episode, as you watch along, we're going to give our rating at the top of the pod. That's right, at the top. We're not going to wait till the end. We're going to give you the goods at the beginning. And then we're going to share our general thoughts, and we're going to highlight some of the interesting moments from the anime. And then at the very end of the pod, we're going to randomly select the next anime that we are watching for June. So if you want to know what that is, then stay to the end, and then you'll know what we watching. And finally, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And most importantly, leave a comment wherever you're watching. And then let us know how you felt about Ghost Stories. Now, before we get into the discussion, all right, y'all. So, welcome back to Together We Anime. As promised, we are going to give y'all the ratings right here at the top of the pod. How this is going to work is Nisha is going to give us his overall feelings and thoughts and opinions about the Ghost Stories anime. Ghost Stories, the English dub. I forget to add that part. We specifically watched the English dub, not the Japanese version. So we're strictly talking about the English dub. So he's going to give us his rating. We're all going to give you the rating of the anime on a scale of 1 to 5. 1 being you'd rather watch grass grow, and 5 being that you want to go ahead and go to the gas station and tell the gas station clerk who could care less about your life, about what your favorite anime is. So, so that's the way we rate it on a scale of 1 to 5. So with that said, Nisha, go ahead and kick us off, sir, and tell us how you felt about the anime.
Seeing, or no, not even seeing, suffering through the English dub ghost stories for 20 episodes. God. The part I was both
Suffering.
dreading yet anticipating for. All right, I'm gonna just get my rating out the way. This is a point five game. Look, point five.
0.5?
Yeah, this is probably the lowest score I've
Did
ever.
you miss a number in front of that? It's just
No,
point
point five.
point five.
0.5.
Whoa.
Half a star.
I think that's the lowest rating.
I have.
Or
Yeah.
have we given 0 stars anything?
I don't think we ever given 0 stars.
Okay.
I don't know. But look, everybody together with anime audience, look at me. Look. If you decide to watch this anime, understand exactly what you're getting into. Granted, little spoiler. Stick and I knew what we were getting into. Nick had zero context about this because the only time I've ever known about ghost stories was out of context. Everything I have seen has been a quote or out of context, or people react to it and like, man, that's crazy. They said that. That was literally me for 20 episodes. It got to the point of like, oh shit, to oh shit, to oh shit. So yeah, as the journey went on, and a couple specific people in the TWA audience. Hi, how are you? Y'all made me finish this shit, so we're here. Um, it like Nick, your comparison of before we picked this of Burst Angel and Dan Angel was very accurate because guess when the dub came out? 2004.
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
It is literally the art of Dan Angel and the all over the placeness of Burst Angel. Literally. And we sat through over 20 episodes. I don't know what to make of it. I know we're gonna get into so many of the things they said throughout the anime. My God. Point five. That's all I got. That's it.
All
You,
right.
you see,
All
I couldn't be
right.
bothered. Point five.
I got you. All right. So next, we got oh yeah, it's me. I'm next. All right. So,
Man.
as far as my overall thoughts and feelings towards the anime, um, it was more comical than I assumed it would be. Um, Based off the first episode, like I said, I use if y'all don't know by now, I'm the casual anime watcher of the group. I usually go into these things blind. I don't research nothing beforehand. These guys might tell me a little bit, but I just go in. So off the first episode, I was like, what the hell is this? I'm gonna hate this.
Exactly.
I was like, the first thing I texted the homies is I was like, this is like a bad tattoo moving across the screen.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
Look,
that's a fact.
when I tell you my first note on this was, yeah, sticking, I know what we're in for. I am praying for Nick's immediate reaction from episode one on.
Mhm.
But
But surprisingly, I did get some good laughs out of it. And this anime was equally offensive to everyone. Um, so, you know,
literally,
at least
everybody
this
feels so.
dub of the anime, I gotta remember to say that the dub
Yeah.
of this anime. Um, but there wasn't much to love, but it's like, yeah, there wasn't much to love. I was gonna try to find something else good to say. But it wasn't much to love. The dub of the voice actors, I didn't hate it, but I did also didn't love it as well. It
Mhm.
clearly was completely different as we watched from the side by side comparisons of the Japanese version. But it was rough. It was a rough watch. But because and I'm gonna go ahead and go into my rating.
Mhm.
Because it was an anime of sorts. And that's I did like the concept. I like the concept a lot. So the shout out to the Japanese, the original writers, animators. I did like the concept. A lot of the themes were repeated, and some episodes could have been deleted, sure. But I like the concept. Um, the main character was actually solid, annoying but solid. Uh, so overall, I gave it a 1 star. I was really close to the half star though.
Mhm.
I was with you, Nisha, so I'm not
Nah,
shocked you picked the half star. But
nah,
out
big
of
petty, point
when I
five.
think of huh?
Said, nah, big petty, point five.
Yeah, when I think about like as the English dub, the fact that they at least still got me to laugh somehow, and still after a while, I actually found myself enjoying it a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, because I was like, how much more ridiculous
Mhm.
can these words get? And it always went past what I thought. So shout out to them. I give it one 1 out of 5. And I really thought I was going to give it a 0 in the beginning, but they got a 1 out of me. So that's my rating. So Stick, how are you feeling over there? What's your thoughts?
Um, yeah, so it's difficult because we always talk about how do we rate this, right? Depending on how you rate it. Sometimes I like to rate, most times I like to rate mine as like, is this good? Is this a good anime and or would I buy this, right?
Hmm.
And then sometimes we talk about, would you suggest someone to watch this? And that's the 1 to 5 star rating. And I'm kind
Hmm.
of torn in between it because if we go by the former, is it good? It's terrible. It's not, it's
I'll
not,
drink to that.
it's not a good anime at all. Um, we can kind of get into like the differences between the two in a minute, but like if we're just focused on the English dub, it's awful.
Hmm.
Um, uh, it's the animation is dated. It's not great. I just said it's all over the place. I said, the humor is technically dated, especially if we're talking about today. Like the humor is dated.
Hmm.
Like we catch some references,
Yeah.
but I feel like people who were watching it during the time caught all the references way uh more efficiently than we would have. Like there was
Yeah.
somewhere I was like, this is probably hilarious, but I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
it was kind
Yeah.
of difficult to laugh at some of those.
Yeah.
And the stuff that I was like, wow, I reacted to, or I thought was funny, was
Hmm.
either very on the nose or just offensive. And so it was like, I just felt like, this is tough. Like in 2000, in that time period, it wasn't right then, but it was a time capsule of a time. This was what was going on. Everybody thought it was hilarious. That's what it was, right? So,
Yeah.
um, the pros are all things considered, the dub was hilarious. Like some of the things said were pretty hilarious. The
Mm.
I've never seen somebody take more liberties in a script ever in my entire life. This was the word unhinged is thrown out way too generally.
Yes.
This is the perfect definition of unhinged. So, yeah, I just want to write off just a couple of anime that came out during. Now, one thing we need to get fixed is, although yes, this the English dub came out in 2004. This anime started in 2000. It actually came out in 2000, 2001. Some
Hmm.
2000 anime that came out. 2000, 2001. Hajime no Ippo, FLCL, Cowboy Bebop the movie, Beyblade, Baki the Grappler, Zoids New Century, and this little thing called Inuyasha. And in 2004, when the dub came out, Paranoia Agent, um, Elfen Lied, Samurai 7, this thing called Samurai Champloo, and this little known anime called Bleach. So it's like when you're comparing it to like some really great anime, you're like, what is this? Right?
Yeah.
So
What is
as an anime, it should probably be a zero.
Yeah.
But as a watching experience, like, yo, you probably need to experience this once in your life.
Like you can't believe it until you see it
Like,
yourself.
we're not gonna
Literally?
do it. We're not gonna do it justice. So I'm with Nick, and I'm gonna go with 1 star only because like you should do this one time and never do this again.
That's it.
Zero
That's
replay value.
that's it. Prelude to what Stick alluded to before we recorded anyway. Anyway, you do it one time, never again.
Never, never, never again.
So you've heard it here. Nisho is rating it a half a star. Stick and I are on the same page with 1 star. So what we'll do here next, when we come right back, we'll dig into some more of the more interesting talking points of the anime. So enjoy this little clip, and we'll be right back. So one of the things that was very interesting about this anime was the main interesting thing was the dub of the voice actors and how they came in and kind of just did what they, I was about to say had to do, but it was wanted to do.
Here we go. Okay.
So there definitely was some shock factor going on. And Nisha, I know that you brought it up to us that it made you think about like being able to do shock the shock factor thing or have that shock value doing it right in a show versus like just doing it for the hell of it. So uh this definitely seemed like it was more for the hell of it, not with any real intention or purpose. So if you wanted to like expand on that for the people, like, what was like how did you feel about it? Did they do it right or I can't even ask that question with a straight face. Just
Did
just
Oh,
take
did
it.
they
Just
did
take it.
did did they do it right? That's a crazy ass question. Okay, so if we strictly talking story ghost stories in the English dub, liberties were taken is an understatement because I'm glad you mentioned the voice actors, Nick, because that's what I was looking up in between our break. Uh, Two very famous voice actors were on this anime. One of them being Chris Patton, who was a voice on Guyver, Dragon Ball Z: The Tree of Might, Fullmetal Alchemist, Soul Eater, and Greg Ayers, who was in, as I wait for it to load.
This is for all you anime watchers out there.
Yeah, yeah,
All I
because
recognize is Dragon Ball Z.
Mhm.
yeah, and literally Greg Ayers in High School Host Club, Danganronpa, Clannad, Free, like you have two very famous voice actors whom in the span of 2004 said, fuck it, we just want to do this. Still baffling to me. Shock factor. So just the caution to the wind they took with the English dub is always surprising to see people react to, especially for my first time seeing this thing in its entirety, against my
Mm,
will. Um, look,
not
look,
against your will.
to my
That's
entirety
crazy,
against my will.
bro. That's crazy.
Hey, you could afford a space dandy. You could
You
afford a
could
space.
have.
I could have,
You could
but
have.
In
but
fact,
I had
you tried to bow out a couple times.
I was halfway through it, and I had people in my ear like, "Oh, Niche, you just gonna quit and you ain't finished all the way." I'm like, the gaslighting is crazy. That's some wicked work. Katave, kick the bucket. But anyway, um, let's see, shock factor and ghost stories. If we look at the side by side of the original story and the English dub, it is literally two separate worlds. Like the Japanese, like you could tell it's strictly for kids. It's supposed to be like some lightheartedness in there, some themes of grief and being kids, even though they've had some very adult things being said. Whereas in the English dub, they turned it up to 1,000 because my God, the number of touchy bad jokes and the number of mentally challenged jokes, like my God. So
Oh
that
yeah, that
led
R word was heavy.
the
Throwing that
R
junk out
word,
like
the F word,
peanuts at a baseball game.
the R
I was
word, the
like,
F word, Jesus. And and the amount of
nobody was safe.
times the amount of times I've heard praise Jesus in okay. All right, I'm gonna go on
Praise
to
Jesus.
stop, please stop. We're not doing this today.
That's no shade to the people that believe that was.
Accept
Oh,
Jesus as your Lord and Savior.
God,
she
God,
definitely yelling, running after people with the little.
With the pamphlet.
Do you want to accept Lord Jesus as your
do you have a few minutes to talk about our Lord and Savior? All right, let me stop. But but as you can see from our randomly quoting how many references they have made, Ghost Stories did this for the hell of it, and I'm not even sure if they were entirely sober doing this because the amount of
Oh.
stories I have seen about the English dub are hilarity. It's like
Hmm.
they just came in the studio, was like, all right, fuck it, we're here, let's do it. Like literally every episode, which I don't think I've ever seen in anime before. I've seen it in shows, but
Yeah.
not really prominently in anime.
Yeah.
So would I say there are shows that have done shock factor right? It depends, because like shock factor can lean to like extreme topics or taboo subjects. Because again, everything went out the window with ghost stories and the English stuff. But like, if I'd say I wouldn't even say right, but they do it consistently. Like Family Guy, South Park, those like the main two to come to mind. If we're
Yeah.
talking shows that treat shock factor like more leaning to satire versus like, all right, we're just gonna do it for the hell of it. So,
Yeah. And it's
um,
more subjective because it's like
yeah,
some people could look at the shock factor because like a lot of people hate South Park. A lot of people hate Family
Family Guy.
Guy, even like American Dad, all those things. So
Oh
like
god.
a lot of people hate those kind of shows for that kind of humor, like that trashy, potty, satirical type
Yeah.
humor. So it's really subjective. Like anybody could literally like it, like anything.
Yeah.
Look, anybody can like anything because you don't get lines like as I scroll my notes.
Yeah.
You don't get lines like holy crack addicts. So yeah,
Bro, that's tame though. That's the wild thing. That's a
That's
tame line in this anime. That's not even that bad, all things considered.
well, I mean that's probably about the one thing I could probably get away with saying on YouTube. So
bro. There's a one line I just looked up. on here that I was like, oh, I gotta go back and clip it for a sound clip, and it's the MC I think saying like, I hear the sound of you shutting up.
Yeah. He's like, did you hear that? Oh, I hear something. It's the sound of you shut the fuck up.
Hold on. No. Hold on. We gotta address that real quick. So they have dropped the other F bomb multiple times, but fuck, they censored like 3 or 4 times. I'm like, are you kidding me? As much
I
shit
didn't
as
even
y'all let
notice.
fly in this show, are you
That's
kidding?
crazy. I think my brain probably just filled them in because I didn't even notice.
Yeah, like the YouTube one, when I lost saw watching on YouTube, it definitely showed it. But I don't
Hmm.
even remember it bleeping out in what you call it. In the stream.
Y'all watched it on Amazon?
I watched mine on Crunchy.
Oh.
I watch those stories.
Wait, what?
What?
No, I omitted where I watched it on because
Oh.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
I omitted where I watched it on. I watch ghost stories.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
I got you.
You were yelling yo ho as you were watching. Gotcha.
exactly, you see the video.
Yeah,
You
I
see
got
it.
you.
Free
Well,
99, baby.
yo, you have to relax. Um,
Well,
Stream responsibly, kids.
so so here's my thing, right? If you showed this to somebody today with no
mhm.
knowledge, right? No knowledge,
Yeah.
and they're just like, you're like, hey, watch this. They would probably think this is an abridged version of the show.
Hmm.
That's the
And
exact same thought I had, Stick, for real.
which is like, for those who aren't privy, it's like a lot of times the abridged versions usually are supposed to really just be a shortened version of a show.
Right.
Hmm.
But the main thing that happens really is they take the show and they add different script or dialogue, and they just make it funny. And if you said to somebody, "Yo, this is the abridged version," they just believe you. The
Yeah.
problem is that that's not. But this is just them doing whatever. So
Hmm.
I've researched it a little bit, and it says that the show in Japan did fine, right? The original run in Japan did fine. Like
And I could see it doing
Yeah.
fine as an
Yeah.
original.
the regular
Yeah.
run did fine. The problem is they
Yeah.
started going into markets outside of Japan. And
Mm.
then I guess time slotting issues, they didn't do as well. So it started to flop a little bit. So they did the one thing that they should have done, and they were like, hey, here, give it to America. And so they gave it to America, and they said, hey, we need y'all to really spruce this up, kind of get us back in. And they gave them a couple rules. They said, hey, keep the names the same, keep the character names the same,
Keep the story.
keep the ghost the same, and make sure that the way that they banish the ghost is the same. Those are the only three rules. Other than that, do what you need to do.
Hmm.
That was a mistake because because they went in there and just said, so the rumor is that two things. One,
Mhm.
that the voice actors just decided, hey, we're just gonna say whatever and just see how long we can get away with it. And no one said anything.
Yeah.
And the other one was, and I think this kind of lends to what we hear in the show, is the rumor is that the first person who got in got to ad lib the script. So they got to do whatever. They got
Oh
to do
nah,
and say
gang.
whatever. And then everybody
Nah,
that
gang.
follow had to just go follow off of that.
Wait,
So
if
like there
that
was probably a script. There were probably writers, but the first person to record got to add some sauce, basically.
This is diabolical, bro. This
if
is
we went with
diabolical.
that idea, which character do y'all think was the one that was like the sun that everybody else revolved around?
At
Hajime.
every different episode, bro. There's a different one every episode. If I had to pick one, I'd probably pick Hajime. He probably
Hmm.
is the one,
Same.
but they all got their moments. Like I like what's her name, Satsuki. I like her, but like she got her moments, man.
Yeah.
Not my favorite Sasuke. Not
Yeah,
my
right.
favorite
That's a
Sasuke.
fact. Um, yeah, it's episode 5 is where it really kicked in for me. Like there was the
Uh-oh.
first, I think the first episode was like ghosts are only hurt bad people like Republicans. I was like, that's pretty funny. That's that's humorous. And then we got to the episode where the dude
Uh-oh.
is doing the track running, and
Uh-huh.
Oh no.
what was the thing my man chanted?
He said, "Run like a black man is chasing you."
Think of a black man
Not
chasing you.
chasing. Then he falls. Well, we know he's not racist. I was like, bro, that's crazy, but it's still hilarious.
I
It's
really shouldn't
funny.
be laughing that part, but it's like this show really was, like I said, equally offensive. Like the things that were said were like wildly said against everybody. Like,
Everybody
Yeah,
caught it.
everybody caught a stray.
So that's why when it comes to the shock value, it's like it'd be one thing if it was just consistently one group,
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
like Republicans, Christians, the Jewish community, everybody
T
was catching it.
Touchy adults.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, seriously, that was kind of wild though.
That was
But you know
wild.
what? They were just sneaking in there like it's just regular. I mean, bro, that's wild. You know what I'm saying? But at the shock value, it was good, but it was a lot at some point. So I'll say
hmm
that for me.
yeah. And I think that like flows well into like what you were talking about, Stick, with the point you brought up is like this would have done better if it was like written as a mature anime, at least I guess for the English dub, you
Yeah.
know, because it's like, um, and you can like elaborate a little bit more, but from what you told us, it's like you like enjoyed the Japanese lore and then from the concept, it's like an anime version of Scooby-Doo, whatever. Which, like I said, I like the concept a lot. I like the. It wasn't a storyline, I'll say, but I like the whole they had mysteries to solve and a problem to fix every episode. I like that. But
Yeah.
with this English dub, it was still kind of marketed as like a kids, not marketed. I don't know how it was marketed. I wasn't watching anime back then, but it's still kind of it seems like it's for kids, but obviously the
Yeah.
English dub is not.
It's like you could tell the initial thing was that it was geared for kids in the Japanese sub, but in the English dub, there was no regard for anything kid friendly. Like literally, no regard.
Bro, you gotta also remember that these kids are supposed to be in fourth grade in
hmm
elementary school. And like with the
Yes.
with the with Mamako being like the oldest kid, I forgot what grade she's supposed to be in, but it's
Oh
like
yeah.
so in the sub it's regular. It's like, oh, okay, this is cool. It's like I said, it feels very like Pup Named Scooby Doo type vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you get to the dub and they just talking about smashing and shit. I want to see them panties. Like it's
Oh
wild, bro.
my God, there
It's
was
just
so
it's just
much of
it's just
that.
it's just crazy.
They said
Um,
something about like some girl, the cheerleader was pregnant with twins.
They
I
would that
was
part was
like,
so
wait, how old
crazy.
are y'all?
no, bro. Remember, Mamako said,
Dang.
yeah, before Mamako's like before I found Jesus, I
Before I
was a
was
I was a
saved.
raging lesbian, and I had lots of sex. I'm like, yo, what is this, man?
That makes me think, I
You
guess,
can't keep getting away with that.
like I'm wondering if the writers were not told like the age because if you weren't told like how old they were, then like just by looking at the characters the way they're drawn up, you wouldn't assume they were in elementary school, which is still not right for them to do half the jokes they
No,
did
no,
with them
not
being
at all.
children. But like honestly, until they said something again, I forgot somebody said something about like fourth or fifth grade. And I was like, oh shit, yeah, they are supposed to be like small kids. I was thinking the whole time these kids, well, the older kids were like in a high school and the little brother was like in a school, like elementary school nearby or something like that. Like I forgot that they were aged that young.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I wonder if like the voice actors, or maybe they were told and they just genuinely did not care and was like, nah, we finna get these jokes off. Like
That it's
six
it
pack on me.
That's literally it.
it was clearly that. So what I was saying about the Japanese lore is I like that as a concept, right? So
Yeah.
Mhm.
the every ghost in the show is based on an actual story in Japanese and or Chinese mythology, or like it's an actual ghost that is told. So the writer of this
Yeah.
show started off writing books. Well, the creator of the show actually started writing off books, and he would tell the stories that his students would tell in school.
Mm.
And so that's how this all came to be. And like each ghost is an actual ghost that, or an actual spirit or tale that they would tell. So I like the concept, but I think what bothered me, and I'm really speaking more so from the Japanese version. The English dub, if you're gonna make it a raunchy comedy, you just make it a raunchy comedy, but just like I don't know, scale back on some stuff or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But if we're talking, if I was like, this should be remade into they should get a reboot or whatever. I would
Yeah.
say ramp up the gore, ramp up the scare, ramp up the horror because it's legitimately kind of scary if you take the time to do it, right? Some of my favorite ghosts were like I wrote them down. Yuki, which was the girl from the blood-soaked lake. I like that
Oh
one.
yeah,
I
yeah,
like that one.
Mm.
I like Akane. I like the AV room girl.
Mm.
yeah.
I
No,
like
that was
that one.
creepy.
The piano ghost I liked. I like the headless biker. I like
Oh,
all
yeah.
those, and I think those were all very good, you know, stories that they could have told. But I would have liked it to be like more of like a horror based thing where
Mm.
let's we can make them mature or whatever, but let's have some gore, let's have some actual stakes involved instead of just being kind of playing it as uh villain of the week like Scooby Doo does. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what I was kind of getting at as far as when
Mm.
it comes to the Japanese lore and stuff.
Okay. Have y'all seen any like have y'all seen that done in anime before like with because we haven't really touched any like horror anime in a sense. So, like we've had some gory anime, some
Yeah, definitely.
action,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but not like anything based on like we had some thrillers, but yeah, no horror, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't,
Like does
no.
that happen often in anime where that's like where there's a story where there's developed and it's in the horror genre?
Yeah, there's plenty
Yeah,
of those out there.
yeah, it is. I just for me, I'm not like the biggest fan of it because I think like I'm not the biggest gore person because like for me, I'm like I don't like seeing mindless gore. You know what I mean? Like
Mm,
in the least, I'm like, all right, if it's gotta go along with the vibe of the anime, like whatever the overall theme of it is, cool. But I'm like, if it's just gore for the sake of gore, I'm like, I'm turning this off. What are we doing, gang? Like, what are we doing? But as far as within a story for horror, not sure. I can't really think of any off the top of my head.
Yeah, I think I just like if you're gonna do it, if it's gonna be based off of like ghosts and what's called it, let's really ramp it up. Like if you think about it seriously, did you see any of the ghosts actually harm anybody? Like actually harm it? Like a lot of the episodes started off with kind of setting up and like somebody gets attacked, but like
yeah,
Yeah,
nobody really is harmed. Do you feel me?
yeah.
right,
So
right.
like there's danger, but not really. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I want to see some danger. I think this anime, out of a lot of anime I've watched, would benefit so much greatly if they just take the story that they got and then just ramp it up and actually make it a mature story versus what they actually did.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what was I gonna say? This actually has a live action that actually did pretty well over in Japan or whatever, and that
Really?
it won awards. You know what I'm saying? And
Not
they
a live action that did well.
yeah, it's not great that a live action probably did better than anime. That's a problem right there. Like that should have been the first telltale sign that
That,
something was amiss.
and
Um,
that's the funniest shit about ghost stories. A live action did
yeah,
better.
something's amiss. But I think it's because, and I haven't watched it obviously, but I think
Yeah.
that it probably because it it had that horror feeling. Like this show
Right,
wasn't
right.
scary. It was called
Nah.
Ghost Stories. You know what I'm saying?
I'm up here looking for the live action.
Look
Oh
at
my
her. She
God.
can, she can never help herself, bro. Uh, why,
Every time we mention live
while you're looking for that, I have some tidbits.
Yes.
So the Headless Biker, episode 19, was actually a TV special after the show concluded,
Oh
but
yeah.
they ended up
mm.
making it episode 19. I guess during the run, and technically we were actually supposed to have it was supposed to still be 20 episodes. However, the original episode 3 was taken out because parents in Japan fought it because it was called the ghost was like the lady with the slit lips, and
Oh.
because she had the slit lips, it made it look like they had cleft lips, and the
Mhm.
parents thought that if kids watched that, their kids with cleft lips would get bullied or whatever, and so they fought against it
Uh,
and it got banned. So the only footage of that episode, and it's not much, it's just like the preview, is the preview from episode 2 to 3. So I would have loved to seen that. I thought that it looked pretty interesting, but
Yeah.
hmm.
yeah. Um, Another tidbit is what I have here. Um, I'll find it later. But Nick, what did you find the live action?
No, I did not.
Mm.
Not, but
Don't worry, she gonna look, she gonna continue
She
looking.
gonna find.
She gonna find it. She gonna find it.
I
Bro,
mean, I'm not that pressed about it. So if I didn't find it on the first wait, is it?
Wait a minute. Wait a
oh
minute. Wait a minute.
Lord,
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a
oh
minute. Wait a minute.
Lord.
That's not true because what was the anime we told her not to watch the live action on, and she did it anyway?
Death
Wait, no,
Note.
when I said I'm not pressed to see the live action of this.
Yeah, but we don't trust you.
But I'm not pressed.
We don't trust you.
It was actually a few of them that I started watching. I never finished any of them. Was Tokyo Ghoul the live action, the original one that y'all told me
Nah,
not to watch?
I wouldn't have been impressed about that one. It was something
Cheers.
else.
I'm trying to think what else would have had a live
Probably Death
action.
Note or something.
No, Death Note was
Death
absolutely
Note might
one.
have been one. The
It
Death
was
Note live action, from what I remember, wasn't that bad though.
see. That's that
It
that's
was
that that's
like
that that's that casual shit.
it was like early 2000 straight to VHS bad, but not like
Damn.
horrible.
Straight to VHS is wicked.
I still didn't finish it, but
That's nasty work.
you know what I'm
That's
saying?
nasty.
Those are the only two I remember watching, Death Note and Tokyo Ghoul. But yeah, I definitely get that. I think, and like that's kind of what I was thinking while I was watching it.
Mm,
Not in a different direction though. You definitely your idea of a revamp would be more mature, something a little more tightened up, more
mm.
intentional. Whereas my direction is more chaotic, but I want organized chaos.
Every fucking episode, Nick with the chaos every time.
Yo, you
So,
notice it, right? Like this is now becoming a running gag at this point.
Yes, like
hey, look, life is crazy. So when I do watch television, I need it to be good. It either needs to make me laugh or it needs to take my mind off of things or both. So like when I was watching, I was like, they let the let the Americans have it, but in the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we're usually good at ruining non-American content. Like,
Yeah.
you don't take anything else away from Ghost.
we do. And I don't want to say we because there's a certain type of American that takes foreign projects, creative projects, and waters them down for the masses and ruins them. And I'm not a
No,
part of that,
no,
Right.
that
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
no.
group.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
However, like like I said, I like the concept. Um, and a lot of the along the lines of what Stick said, like I didn't know all of that about like the Japanese lore of like the actual ghosts and things like that. But I liked the different ghosts that we got introduced to. I would have
Yeah,
liked to have maybe one or two episodes where we got to see more of a specific ghost every now and then.
Mhm.
However, I wouldn't have mind like still keeping kind of the same trashy humor,
Mhm.
but like I would like to have it revamped and just have it, updated. Like, remove some of those like jokes that just don't work no more and like have somebody that's like really good at writing that kind of stuff because like you have the writers that work on like we said like a Family Guy and a South
yeah.
Park, Futurama.
Oh
Like you have
yeah.
those writers where like they're really good at having that like kind of trashy what word do the old people use? They use crack.
Raunchy.
Yeah, raunchy,
Crass.
crass. Yeah,
Mm.
you know what I'm saying? They're really good at that, and they're really good at taking current events and like putting them in the fold of their shows
Hmm.
and uh making something that people enjoy out of it. And I feel like this anime had great potential, but it was like unguided and undirected, and there was no checks or balances in the studio.
None.
Everybody just went in and did their own thing. But you take this anime again and revamp it to like an American cartoon and make the kids older. And
Number one.
but then again, South Park still exists. The Simpsons still exist.
but
So
they get the benefit of being a long running show.
that's
So
true.
we've all accepted that they're just not aging. It's just not happening. You know what
Literally,
I'm
That's
saying?
true.
yeah.
Whereas this is a one shot anime, so like we're looking like we, we could have just made them 16 and it would have been less cringy. You know what
Oh
I'm
Yeah.
yeah,
saying?
absolutely.
So I think that's part of it. Um, I think I have this question, and let's all just try to remember who we were back in 2004.
Oh God.
Hold on. Trying to remember where I was at. Okay, I got it.
Okay.
Junior high, high school. Go
So
ahead.
I know. We're all saying like, if we updated the humor, it would probably be. I think, like I said, I think if for the Japanese thing, for the Japanese version, make it a mature thing. If it were doing English dub, keep it, make it more American Dad, Family Guy, whatever, right? In
Mhm.
Right.
2004, would we have thought this is funny though? That's the question I think we need to ask ourselves.
Me personally, I would have probably had the same because like that I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably the more I guess like uptight person in my family
Mm,
because I've never thought certain jokes were funny.
No,
sure.
no, I
And
definitely agree. Yeah.
so like even when I was younger, like there's just certain things now, I mean now things might get a laugh out of me because it's so offensive.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Like you say something like, "Oh shit," you
That's
know.
it. That's a reaction.
That's it. Yeah,
It's
that's
not like
it.
a laugh, like ha ha ha. It's like damn.
Oh, wow,
Yo.
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
And then back then I wouldn't have laughed at all because I would have been super like tight and been like, oh no, I don't think the R word is funny. Like I don't think
Right.
like
Nah.
these jokes about finding the coach in the girls' locker room,
Yeah,
I still
that
don't
was
find that
wild.
funny at all.
Nah.
That didn't make me laugh at all. But it's like I don't know. Some of the jokes, I'm trying to think. Like there, I think some of the jokes about like some of the uh, hmm, I ain't trying to say nothing too loud,
That's what
This
I'm
nigga,
but
this
saying,
nigga
bro.
trying to reach for the jokes.
basically people's appearances would like
Right, right.
have made me laugh for sure as a kid back in the day. I would think
Mm.
so. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know when I think of like I think like when I say revamp, I want it revamped for now. Like
Mhm.
Mm.
Like if I would have watched this back then, I wouldn't have made it through the first three episodes.
I would have definitely dropped it too.
I'm dead. Same, literally. Same.
I don't even know if I would have made it. Oh no, I would have gave the first episode a try because it was kind of boring. But I was like, ooh, I want to see what happens. But by
Yeah.
the second episode, I would have been out.
So 2004 niche, like funny enough, has as many times they were throwing around the F bomb, that's actually around the time like middle school, high school. That's actually when I found out what it actually meant. And I'm like, whoa, that's not funny at all. Like at all. Because you're
Hmm.
kids, you throw around a word you don't know, it's in a different context. But like when you find out something what it means and it's like detrimental, it's like, I ain't finna use this. This ain't funny. What the hell? Like, what are
Hmm.
we doing? Now, would I have laughed at a majority of the humor? Honestly, just like the movie references. Cause like for me, I love a good movie reference. Even back then, I'm like, oh, they mentioned this movie. Ah, it's actually good. I like that. But granted, given they were mentioning half the movies with Keanu Reeves in it, I'm like, gang, it's only so many Keanu Reeves movies you can name from 2004, bro, that weren't The Matrix. Like, what are we doing? But other than that, no, I definitely agree with you, Nick. I didn't find a lot of those jokes about like, oh, we gotta find that coach in a girl's bathroom thing. Now I'm like, what? That
Yeah,
is
Yeah.
that is a predator, sir. That is a predator. No, no. But
yeah. My mom would have heard me watch that, made me turn that off immediately.
and, same thing with my mama, because like
Immediately.
she would not let me watch South Park. She wouldn't let me watch like more of the raunchier humor because I wouldn't have gotten it at the time. But now that I do, I'm like, oh, I get it. Oh,
Yeah.
My mom wasn't even a helicopter mom, and South Park was like the show. Like we had to
yeah, it was
sneak and
bad.
watch that one.
Yeah.
We convinced her to like let us rent the movie one time,
Oh
and
my
then
God.
she watched it with us.
Kyle's mom is the biggest. Oh, all right. Let me stop. Let me stop. Let me stop.
She was like, "Never again."
Yeah. Got that shit off for one time and it was worth it.
Stick your rebuttal, sir.
Um so listen, man, I think I some words I would like the F slur, I never that was never like a big thing for me, right? It was
Yeah.
like
Right.
whatever. I thought that was always a weird thing. Um,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like we didn't. I'll just say for myself that the R word wasn't in my lexicon for like a while because
Hmm.
like people would just use it or whatever.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a part of slang at one
Yeah,
point.
yeah, it
Yeah,
Mhm.
was.
because
Yeah.
and it wasn't even always like it was just a lot of times we just used it to say somebody was stupid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of just saying stupid, it was just
Yeah.
like the most aggressive way of saying it.
Right. The
But
Black
then
Eyed
one
Peas got a whole song about it.
facts,
Uh,
uh, uh,
That got censored.
yeah, so fast. Uh, but when you get then there's like as you grow up, you get to a point where it's like, oh well, we shouldn't be saying that, and then you just stop. So
Yeah.
I think in
Right.
2004, would I have laughed at the reference at hearing it? Well, probably. I'm gonna be honest, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But but again, I'm not making 20 episodes of this. I think the shit just would have been
Mm-mm.
trash. I wouldn't have found that humor to be funny at the time.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I think I was too young, number one, because of the
Hmm.
references and shit. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
also, two, it was just like, it was so fast paced and so,
And all over the place.
yeah, it was like,
Literally.
Yeah.
I
Literally.
mean, yeah, I think that would have, I don't think I would have still liked it or whatever.
Yeah.
I would be probably in the same boat I'm in now.
That's where I feel like I
Yeah.
probably like were there some things said that I would have laughed at back then? For sure.
Mm,
Definitely just because of the way times have changed,
yeah.
like, and the things that we used to consider just everyday terms, we don't
Yep.
consider it
Right.
anymore. But like, I still wouldn't have made it, especially back then, man. I was like a little smarty pants, like real intellectual. I watched documentaries and shit. Like, I,
This does sound like a young Nick.
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I actually picked apart, albums and was breaking them down word for word back then. So, like I wouldn't have like my version of comedy back then was That's So Raven. So like that would have
Right.
but way too much.
Yeah, that would have been like, what
Yeah.
is this? This is too much.
The
What
Simpsons
is
was
that?
almost too much for me. So, but yeah. But I would love for somebody to adopt it in the 21st century. Like somebody that's really good at writing satire. Like
Yeah,
to take it
Right.
and make it like a Scooby Doo almost kind of thing. But they just ruined it. So that's just in a perfect world.
Right.
uh, just referring back to the voice acting, uh, Leo, Leo, our guy with the
Mhm.
glasses, the resident, the I forgot what his title was. No,
Psychiatric,
not
whatever.
the boy.
The
No,
psychiatric something.
that's how Leo sounded to me. He sounded like the little boy.
Wait.
Leo was the one with the hat, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
no, he didn't. No, that little boy
Wait.
has a
What?
very unique and stupid
He
sound.
was like, I can't believe she did this to me.
That sounds a little bit better. Yeah, but
That's more accurate.
the little boy got it. We know how little boy sound. Nisho sent us a voice clip. Um,
Group
we're
chat.
we're
Oh
gonna
shit.
insert in this episode, so that's
Well, yes, I'm gonna use that as one of the breaks.
it's for sure happening. But Leo, um, I don't know if he sounded familiar to y'all, but he should have. Um, three different shows we've watched on this podcast.
Go ahead.
Oh, let
Go
us
ahead.
know. Let us know.
I'm not ready.
You're never like I've made this distinction before, but you're now it's gonna be ridiculous the ones I said.
I'm gonna be so
Okay.
pissed.
Starting off, Hiwatari from D and Angel,
Are you
Kiyo from Burst Angel,
so the
and Ayato from Angel Beats. Why was it all three Angel shows?
nigga? What's up, bro?
Yo, when
What
you
was it?
think
Bro
about
was
the
going
fact that
crazy.
we've watched all of those as well,
They watched all three of them,
and you
and
said
Look,
he was Iwatari?
yeah, he was Hiwatari.
Hiwatari's voice actor was in 3 anime we have already seen. What the
Now
hell?
four.
Now
And for,
4.
yep,
God.
We
and for
know
me,
him. We might as well invite him to the cookout.
yo,
Hey,
Like,
Hiwatari,
he,
come on the
hey,
podcast, gang.
he in the club. We all fam.
in
and
in the
I don't know
TV.
even know who the character you named from Burst Angel was. I don't even
Oh
remember.
yes you do.
Yeah, you
He's
do.
Who's
the one that goes away. He's the main character.
Oh,
Daisuke Pickles. Anyway,
Yeah, he's the main character.
I had to fucking nigga with that
Now
one.
I feel like I'm gonna have to go like watch highlights of them, the anime, so I can hear the voice now.
Not just go back and run it back. You love those.
No, we good.
Also, Nisho, that's Ganta, by the way.
Same.
Yeah,
I hate it here. I
What
actually
is
hate it.
Gonto?
Gone is from Dead Man Wonderland,
same thing.
which is a good anime, by the way.
Yeah.
But
And my
he
man
So,
be
said, he
making,
said, but he said, "Fuck it, go story." He's like,
he be
wait.
making, he just get a bag. It sound like.
bro was just getting to the money.
I am mind blown right now. What is life? What is
Honestly,
it?
if he was in a good anime, I respect him even more because I mean, Burst Angel, not Burst Angel, Angel Beats wasn't a bad anime, so
Oh,
we can't
peak.
clump them with the other two. But he has range.
That's a valid point. He
That is
does have range.
certainly a way to describe it for sure.
Gosh, damn.
Hey, look, cause it's like he was keeping up with them and them jokes, and
No, he was killing it. He was killing it.
he had some of his own. He had
All
some
right,
of his own.
all right. Offensiveness aside, who was the funniest character?
I'm gonna need the cast list for this.
God damn it.
Let's see.
I want to say Hajime so mad, but I could not stand the dirty jokes after so long.
My man was putting up numbers with them dirty jokes. My man was on the phone calls like, so I was banging this midget, right? I was like, dog, you can't say that though. Like
I forgot about
you
that.
cannot say that. I'm like,
That reminded me of my side question. We'll get to it later, but I'm
But
You
trying to
said who
think
was
again,
of
the
the funny.
but again,
funniest?
he's in fourth grade.
I'm trying to like see who I laugh at the most.
I feel like there were side characters or random people that were saying random lines throughout the show that made me laugh the most.
Bro, I'm gonna be
But
honest.
oh my God.
I was gonna go between Sasuke and Kaya, the cat ghost thing.
Or
Or
what's the ghost name?
fucking
Uh,
Amajaku or something?
Amana Jaku.
Yeah, Manajaku.
Jaku.
Nah, he was pretty funny. He was pretty
He was
funny.
cooking.
He was wild. Like
Yeah,
that motherfucker
he
was
was pretty
wild.
funny. I ain't gonna lie to you, dog. The funniest episode to me, where I was like dying the entire time,
Uh-oh.
was the AV episode
Oh
because
no.
that teacher wanted to fuck so bad.
That was honestly the episode that genuinely made me
She was trying to get smashed so bad, and then she got it and was so disappointed, bro. It was the funniest shit of all time, bro. I was
nah.
dying. I actually
And
was like laughing.
but that's one of the episodes where I thought Sasuke was hilarious because she was like, she was like, this bitch needs to get laid or whatever.
This
She's like, why are
actually
you telling the kids this?
this might lead perfectly into my other side question. Funniest line that actually made you laugh in this show.
Oh,
Because mine was in that episode stick. It was literally, it's either you or this microphone. I'm like, ma'am,
yo,
what?
yeah, that was funny.
What?
That was crazy. That was nuts,
I
bro.
was
I'm
like,
telling you,
dang,
she might have been the
what?
funniest character the entire time.
I checked out. I was like, yo, what y'all got me watching, gang? I can't. I was like, it's either you or the mic. Hello. That's wrong on multiple levels, first of all. Second of
Okay.
all,
When it comes to like, you said favorite line or funniest line?
favorite or funny. It's like the one that was just like, whoa, okay, all right.
Okay. So, I mean, I want to say, for as bad as this dub was, I do love how it poked fun at itself.
Mhm.
Like, they
Valid.
kept pointing out when old boy kept doing the anime hands or
Yeah,
whatever.
elbows in the air. Yep.
They kept poking fun at how many times like they kind of repeated the ghost theme, like that
Yeah.
one, like I guess it was similar to the ring, so they kept pointing out that.
Yeah.
So I like that they kept poking feelings at it. It's like, why don't we just keep using this book? Like,
He's like, how long is it gonna take for you to pull out that damn journal your mom brought?
exactly. So I like that part. I think it'd have to be two for me. Like one, but my number one is that one. Like I hear the sound of you shut up.
Bro, that was a good one.
I love that line. And then obviously we go with the snow, but not the
Now,
snow.
snow that is
It's
yellow.
yellow.
Bro, so listen, when I
Hold
did
on.
my side by side, I was like, let me see how different the dub and sub is, right?
Yeah.
So I did that episode,
Okay.
and I think what they say, if theirs is go with the snow, something. It's not go with the one that's not yellow, and I was like, I like look at what they the liberties they took, and that's just a sample. It's probably like the sub is probably so regular, bro. It's probably just like a regular show, but they just took it. It was like let's just fuck this shit up completely.
Yeah.
I
Watching
will.
the compilation of those side by sides that the link you sent us to
Yeah,
Yeah,
each other, I was like, bro, this anime is just so basic, not in a bad way, but it's just like a basic like, friendship story.
that's
And
it. And then, and then, not because you're a rabbit, because you're black. Like
yeah, that was funny too. Say, listen, it can never work between us, not because you're a rabbit, but because you're
because you're
black,
black. I'm like,
nobody was
bitch,
safe.
what?
bro. It was
No. Hold on. That I cannot remember what episode it was, but the episode where they were saying, it looks really suspicious around here. I feel like we might get robbed if we turn a corner. I'm like, oh, we just going straight for the hoods. Okay, all right,
or
okay.
what one more man say he when the ghost of the running boy, he's like, you don't have money to buy shoes? Did the Crips beat you up too? take your take your shoes.
Sick work out here, gang. Sick
He
work out
Bro,
said
here.
he said now
Point
my dad
point.
won't buy me shoes. He just buy me Payless shoes. I'm like, dog, what is the show, bro?
Fools running
bro,
around with them yellow ass boots. What are we
I
doing?
don't know. I feel like I would love to see like an improv session with the actors that did like the voice actors that
I
did
wish they recorded it. I would pay for that. I would pay for that behind the scenes.
Like I would love to see,
Lord,
yeah, like outside of that, I would love to just see their banter because I already know like any of them that were actually in studio. I know they probably recorded stuff separately, but if they were at any moment in the studio together, can you imagine the jokes they were probably hitting on each other?
Bro, imagine the takes. How many takes they
oh
probably had to
my
do.
God.
Actually, I don't think they had many. They
Yeah,
probably
I
spent
feel
more
like they
time
did.
clowning in between the takes.
I feel like that might have been the case. I believe it.
They probably first took everything. Like, oh, that sounds good. We gonna keep that.
So you
Keep
think
it
I should
in.
go? You think I should go back in there? Nah, that sounded
Nah.
great to me, bro. Hey,
Bro,
actually, I'm gonna play off that. Don't worry about it.
Keep it in. Keep it in. Word, word. All right,
out of
bet.
nowhere, the father ends up being what'd she say her father was?
A drunk.
A drunk or something? Like he drinks
That
himself to
was
sleep. Like he went from the beginning just being this like dope
Regular
single
dad.
father.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the middle of the story, he's like a ain't shit dad that be drunk all the time.
look, ain't shit dad, smart ass daughter, a
And
kid. So yeah.
and the worst that boy was annoying, bro. I'm not gonna hold you.
With the baby or the kid.
It was literally like when I tell y'all, when I send y'all that clip in the group chat, I had to listen with my headphones. I'm like, I'm not tripping, right? They reused that same clip for multiple episodes. I'm like, yeah,
Felt like
they
it.
didn't give a fuck at all, even in the sound
They
production.
probably just put
They
it in the
didn't care.
soundboard at that part. It was like cue crying.
Yep. Tap tap tap. Crazy.
Okay, so
Cuter crying is
I will say one episode that I did like for not non-joke related. I
Mhm.
like the episode where dang, I said I
Lost
like
it
the
that quick.
episode and I forgot it. But it was the hospital thing where the mom left the note for the
Oh
family
yeah, yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that.
and
that
she
was a
said a bunch
nurse
of
one.
nice things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, this was like a good decent one." I was
Decent is a good
like,
descriptor.
this is the most serious episode, I guess. But then I was like, why is the mom's voice so old?
All right, hold on. Let's talk about a
I
few things.
remember, I remembered your mom when she was a lesbian. I mean, not saved. I was like, ma'am, hold on, wait,
No,
wait, wait,
here's what I
wait.
don't understand. That mom possessed Mamako for 2 episodes and then never did it again.
Unresolved plot thread. What are we doing?
Bro, these
What are we
plot
doing?
twists where this shit just don't be should be happening random was crazy. Like she did like in the first twice in the first 6 episodes, and then it never happened again.
Yeah.
Like, bro, what are we doing?
I thought she did it right at the end. No, she popped up as herself or something at the end.
Yeah, like as a voice or something.
Go towards the
But she was
light.
like a
Jesus,
body,
that's you.
like a full body. Or maybe she possessed somebody else.
I don't know if she possessed
Cause
anybody.
she got like bitch slapped by the drag queen skeleton at the end.
What an
Y'all remember?
amazing way! What an amazing
What?
way to put that.
What?
That's not what it was. What the
I don't.
skeleton was? A
I
drag
don't.
queen?
I don't remember. Like I literally don't.
bro. Okay, honestly, there
I
was a
feel like I'm
point.
about to get canceled. I thought it was a legit drag queen. It was the tall skeleton, and then he slapped her with a book or something. Y'all don't remember?
Is that the last episode?
I don't remember. I really don't.
Yeah. Maybe it wasn't the last. It might have been like episode
Wait,
19.
the skeleton? That was the one with the painting, right? That was the one.
Yeah.
Oh
That was the last
yeah.
episode. That's why I got confused.
Okay, maybe it was
Oh,
like it was
Yeah,
gotcha.
short.
that's the one where like she makes that painting and it looks like the one her mom did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that her? What did she come as a body?
I
She
don't.
was in somebody. I don't know if it
Somebody
was
possessed.
hers
I
or
don't
if
know.
she possessed somebody else.
It was impromptu, but I can't blame them for that because everything about this anime is impromptu. So I'm not even gonna hold that against them. I do like this anime too though
Go to.
because I see so
Mhm.
much as crazy as it sounds, I see a lot of influence in other anime, right? So there's
Yep.
a
Valid.
so in the new anime that came out recently, Dan,
Mm.
one of the things that happens is the spirit goes into a cat-like creature, and that's what happens here.
Mm.
In Dan also, there's a scene, I don't know if you remember it, early in the anime, there's like a model body that's just like chasing the kids or whatever, and it runs past them. That also
Hmm.
happens in Dan. Also the headless biker again, if we bring that back up. I don't know if you ever watched
I
Durarara.
was. I was literally thinking doing it. Yep.
That one there's I think I forgot what the person Skelty or something like that,
Yeah,
but
salty or something.
that's headless biker as well. I think that's also an influence. So even with this anime being supreme trash, it has such influence on I feel like a lot of anime that follow behind it. So it's got its points, man. It's just not good.
I think I think I can understand why. It seemed it. I could definitely see it being one of those culty kind of
Hmm.
you know
Yeah.
anime. Or not even just anime. Like some shows are just they people love it for whatever reasons.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, guys, we're gonna wrap up the discussion part of this pod. So, if it seemed a little all over the place, that's because anime was it. You should go watch it for yourself if you haven't
Mhm.
to
One time.
understand. But yeah, we're gonna take a quick little break again, and then we'll come back to wrap up the pod.
Is it me or like the little kid, right? They have reused a sound clip of him going. They reused that clip a couple times throughout the whole fucking anime.
Now we'll never find out who the ghost is. I hope to God you're adopted.
All right, y'all. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that last segment of the pod. We had a lot of different talking points about shock factor and how we would like to revamp the anime and see it done differently. But we've come to the most unfortunate part of the pod, which is the ending. But before we go, we want to just let y'all know that you can follow us everywhere at Together We Anime on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. So make sure you give us a follow, give us a excuse me, give us a subscribe and give us comments and shares and all that bookmarky happy stuff. Um, so individually, we might have some few things to announce. I don't have anything to announce other than you can catch me on Twitch Sunday nights at 8 p.m. if you want to listen to music and all that good stuff. And Stick, if you have anything you want to announce, you want to share with people.
Um, Nothing crazy, just doing pods, man. Check out Star Trek Essential podcast by Charles Hamilton, music, moment, and everything in between. Every Wednesday, and Two Tall Boys podcast, man, with me and my boy Keem. We just try not to get canceled. Every Friday. So check those out, and then if you ever want to read some books about some mystery stuff, check out braxtonbooks.com.
Hey. Shout out to the two tall boys too. They were in my top 5 for my Spotify podcast listeners last year. So shout out to them. Nisha, what you got going on?
What I got going on? For any lovely anime heads that are in the DC area, I may have performances coming soon, question mark. Up in the air right now, still works stuff out, but
Hey,
music
hey.
on the way, question mark. We still working on it. I'm just writing a lot right now. Yeah,
Ooh,
I'm writing a lot. I'm just trying to get beats for certain stuff, but that's in the works right now. Other than that, I've been chilling for real. Not really a whole lot major to announce, but just be on the lookout. Oh, Nisha Soul Music is my Instagram. That's where you can find me.
nice. And go listen to Nisha music, cause he hold you down. He hold you down.
I see what you did this.
All right. So with that said, that was our announcements and everything. So now the most important part of the ending of the pod, we get to pick the next anime. So I'm gonna have to share my screen. So, well, oh, I had to send a request.
Yeah, I see.
Um,
Anime.
so this is a fairly new thing for us. Usually before we used to take turns picking anime to watch. After that, I was picking anime out of a bowl. Now I have a wheel.
It's the wheel
So
of
the wheel
anime.
will randomly select the anime that we are going to watch. Hold on.
Anime gods, be with us, please.
They kind of screwed us over last time. So, well,
Yeah.
actually, Nicole
Look,
screwed us over last time. She was the one that picked out the
they,
ball.
I did not screw
Well,
anything.
it was your hand, and you pulled it out. So
now
I
I
can't stress enough that that was you. So
now that there's one pick on this wheel I'm afraid of, but we just gonna let the fates decide. But I'm afraid. Let's see. Let's
All
see.
right. Y'all able to see the wheel, right?
yes,
Yes.
All right, cool. All right, so we're gonna pick this and we're gonna see what we're watching for June. So, um, there we go. We got some
here we go.
spin action.
My God.
Oh my god.
I am so
Oh,
scared. Wait, wait,
oh,
wait. Oh,
oh.
Okay,
All right.
Psychopaths.
okay, I'm cool with this.
This is gonna be a different vibe.
Oh, it absolutely
Sure.
is. And
This is gonna be a rewatch for me, but I'm excited though.
remember the
Okay.
gore we mentioned, people?
Yeah,
Good God.
All right. Anyway, so yeah, y'all, for this month coming up in June, we will be watching what was it, Psychopaths?
I go
Psychopaths.
past season
Oh,
Um,
one.
yes.
I again am going in blind as always, but I'm gonna
Same.
look up a little quick description real quick to read for the people. So it says that wait, why was Psychopaths banned? Why was it
Oh,
banned? Okay, so
oh, okay.
it says in the near future, it's possible to measure each person's potential for violence. Inspector Akane Tsunemori is a part of a special unit that chases down these budding criminals. So we got a little crime suspense action thriller
Hmm.
thing possibly going on.
Mhm.
I'm excited for this. This sounds like it's right up my alley.
I think I
Type
feel like it
of
will be. This is gonna be my first time watching it. I know moments of it, but this is gonna be my first time watching actual anime.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think y'all are gonna like it. I think y'all like 22 episodes from the first season. So go ahead and get started on that. But yeah, I'm excited, man. I really like this.
22 episodes. Man, we
Well,
need to get back to the 12
Get back to our 12.
12 been our magic number, don't y'all know?
But I
Back to
gotta
our
start.
12.
I'm gonna have to start this weekend.
Hey, we might have to make two wheels, one for like longer seasons and one for
One for
12
shorter
episodes.
seasons, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh man.
That'd be a dope little wheel.
yeah. Every now and again we just switch up.
I gotta feel it because most of them on there are pretty short anime, so
Yeah, yeah, no, that makes
you
Yeah, I
know,
sense.
think so for sure.
so we probably won't run into this issue again. It's not an issue though, really, but
Yeah.
it's all right. All right, so yeah, y'all. Now for June, we're watching Psycho Pass. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching the anime. Make sure you, I mean, not thank you for so much for watching the podcast. Make sure you follow us, like I said, and yeah, and we'll see you next time. Hands up, banzai. Oh,
We were in the same direction this time. Yeah.
I thought we went opposite directions,
We
but it's
did. So
No,
yeah, we did.
oh my God.
We're never gonna do it.
Oh,
oh, my screen is also not mirrored, so that's
oh, it's in. Oh, got you.
So maybe we are doing it the same way.
yeah, we probably are. Anyhow,
Maybe look, we'll figure it out
Anyway,
later.
we're out.
yeah,
Peace, people.
we
God damn it.